Hey everybody, it's Dave with DII. Don't have my shirt on today to show you the DII logo, but I'll find it around here somewhere. Oh, I know where it is. Dave with DII. Hey, I make hand pans, if you didn't know that already. I use a hand pan that I got in the mail from a customer. It's not one of the hand pans that I make. It's something else that was made by somebody else, and I don't know who it was made by. It looks like this. And I'm planning on tuning it and kind of just showing on the Strobo Tuner here. This is the Strobo Tuner. Showing basically how I kind of go about looking at a hand pan like this and diagnosing it and figuring out exactly kind of what needs to be done to it. So I'm just hanging out here in my office today, and I decided to go live on Facebook. Typically I go live on YouTube, but I decided to give Facebook a try this time just to see how it would work out. In fact, I think if somebody wants to make a comment or even join the conversation, I think we can even do that to some degree. So let me know if you have any questions. Anyway, I'm going to be diagnosing this right now. This is my Strobo Tuner right here. When something is in tune, the little lines turn green. So let's see if you can see this a little bit better. There we go. So on this Strobo Tuner right here, it basically tells me when things are in tune. And for right now, this looks like it's a D. You can see that band right there moving to the right. That's the fundamental pitch. Let me try this one. This looks like it's a C. And you can see that band is running to the right, and then one's right on top of it. It's flickering green a little bit. That means that it's slightly in tune, but fairly sharp. Anyway, so I'm going to diagnose this really quick and figure out what scale it is, first of all. So this is C, this is D. I'm not sure exactly what scale it is even, because this instrument was sent to me by a customer, and I am unfamiliar with who made it, and I'm unfamiliar with tuning. Hey Ed, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to hear from you. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer all the questions because I'm going to put on my headphones and I'm going to be totally distracted as I do this. But feel free to throw them in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer as many as I can as I'm working on this drum. Again, I'm working on this drum. It was sent to me by a customer and I don't know who made it. It's pretty rough around the edges. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it sound good or better at all, truthfully. I'm going to try to see what I can do to make it sound a little bit better. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's just the way it goes. But this is my Strobo Tuner device. If the little lines turn green, it means it's in tune. Hey Juma, hey Wayne, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for checking it out. All right, so I'm going to go for it. First of all, I'm going to try to figure out what the names of the notes are. Pretty close. You can see that it's turning green there. F sharp. This one. Octave's going a little flat. Fundamental's a little sharp. Hey Ed. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. This looks like it's going to be a G. A. Flat on that. B natural. So this is supposed to be a D ding, but it's super sharp. The octave is super sharp. Instead of having a fifth on it, it almost has 2 octaves, so it's not tuned in a regular way at all. Usually a ding note has 3 harmonics that are tuned to it, which is usually a fundamental pitch, which is like the lowest sound that you hear. then an octave, and then a fifth. And this drum has a fundamental pitch. There it is. It's sharp. The octave is sharp, but where the fifth is supposed to be, it has like a second, which would be like, instead of a D, it's like an E. It's supposed to be a D, but no, it's supposed to be an A and like a couple octaves up. But it doesn't. So this is probably an A here. So this is kind of like a Celtic minor. So a Celtic minor is typically like a D minor, and it usually is D, A, C, D, E, F, G, A. And this one is D, A, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then has a B natural on top. So when I make Celtic minors, I don't put the B natural on top, I usually put a C on top. So it's just half a step different than this one. But let's see what happens when I work on this ding note. Let's see if I can bring this ding note in a little bit here. It's supposed to be a D. And again, we're looking for green lights here. Sounds pretty bad the way it is right now. We'll see what I can do. I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit so you can check it out. What does that say? Keith says, this dude is too knowledgeable for this world. He must be destroyed, Zap. Thank you, Keith. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can make this ding note sound a little bit better. Going in. I can actually see this note flexing right here. It's like flexing a lot. Normally you don't see the flex very much. Also, this ding note, the dimple that's on this ding note is really small. Normally the dimples are a little bit bigger, and so it takes some of the twang out of it if the dimple is a little bit bigger. This one has a small dimple, so it's probably always going to have a bit of a twang to it. Man. The D fundamental, the octave is a little bit better. Instead of having another octave for where the fifth normally is, I've got a major third. Not sure how much better I'm going to get with this. Now, come closer. So this is a drum that I'm unfamiliar with. It was brought to me by a customer. I don't know who made it. closer. So I've got a bit of a fifth now. Octave is running sharp. Fundamental's pretty close. See if I can get that fifth a little higher. Okay, so the fifth there. Running a little sharp. Almost there. Trying to get the fifth on this ding note. Alright, so I've got a fifth now. Octave is a little flat. Trying to balance out these harmonics. See if I can get the ding note to sound any better. I don't know who made this. I don't know when it was made. Working on the fifth. I'm trying to get the fifth to settle in on that note. Trying to make it happen. Hello, Vicky. Thanks for watching. So I don't know who made this handpan, but I'm trying to make it work. Working on the ding note right now. It's struggling, trying to get it with an octave and a fifth that it's supposed to have. Getting closer. This is a challenge. How's it going, Tony? Trying to get this ding note on this handpan to come into tune. It is not a happy ding note. Getting closer. That's the fifth right there. The octave and the fundamental. I'm trying to get them all to line up to be green. So this is a handpan. I did not tune this myself. It was sent to me by a customer, and I'm trying to see if I can tune it. Sometimes handpans that are really made poorly like this, and it's really almost impossible to tune them, so I'm just kind of messing around right now to show you guys what's involved with trying to take a handpan that was not perfectly made in the first at first to make it something that's playable, but sometimes the amount of work that goes into it just doesn't equal out or balance out to make it worthwhile. So I'm going to keep trying here a little bit just to see what I can do. Getting pretty close here. Alright, so you can see the green band, that's the fifth. The octave. Fundamental's a little flat. Just a bit. So that looks pretty good for a ding note. Like I said before, this ding note has a really small dimple on it, and usually if it has a small dimple, it has a twang. Usually kind of creates a twangy sound, which it does have a twangy sound. So if you want to make a ding note that has a little less twang, you can increase the size of the dimple. Usually works. Alright, let's see if I can work on any of these other notes. I'm going to start up high here on this A. Get the octave to come up. Hey Brad, you doing? So this is an A, and you can see it's turning green, the fundamental pitch. Ah, the neighboring note has an A on it also. I'm just gonna try to take that out. Alright, so my first challenge was to get this ding note to sound better and have more of the proper harmonics on it. Pretty much did that. Is anybody going to be singing along with Keith? Let's see. He's ready when everybody else is. There's a sing-along. Alright. I don't know who Keith is. Keith, do I know who you are? I don't know if I know who Keith is. Anyway, so this A is now pretty much in tune. So I'm going to try to make that one a B the way it was before. Sounds a little funky, but I'm gonna leave it. Hi, Kristen. How are you? It's Dave. I'm tuning a handpan. Somebody sent this to me. I'm trying to make it sound better. I'm not sure if all the work I'm gonna put into this is really gonna make a difference, but I thought you guys might be interested to see how something like this is done. So that should be a G. So the Strobo Tuner, basically anytime the Strobo Tuner turns green, means it's in tune. Those little dots are drifting to the right, which means that it's sharp. Yeah, that one tuned in pretty quickly. Alright. I'm going to leave it close. F sharp. Yeah, the harmonics are just like all over the place. Usually the harmonics are set in a specific way. Like like the length of the note is an octave, the width of the note is a fifth or something like that. But this is all over the place. And I'm not even attempting to get the fifths on these things. Hello from the Philippines. I can't remember how to pronounce your name. Aldous Castro? Aldous? Not sure how to pronounce it, but thank you for tuning in. This handpan was sent to me by a customer, and I'm just checking it out and trying to make it better. I didn't make it, and I don't know who made it. It's totally just a random handpan. It wasn't really made that well. It seems like maybe somebody's first one, second one, something like that. They were messing around. Alright, so I'm just trying to get things closer than they were. I'm really not going to try to make this thing sound 100% better because I don't think I actually can make it sound 100% better. But we'll see what. Oh, I pronounced it right. Thank you. I'm glad to know I did. Let's see. Keith Tyler says, Dave, I know you're a little busy, but would you mind taking maybe 30 seconds to show us how the familiar 12-tone scale lays out on a steel drum? 12, well, yeah, hold on. All right. So since you asked, Keith, let me go get a steel drum. All right, I'm switching over to steel drum here. So Keith asked about the 12-tone scale, which is really, there's 12 chromatic pitches in music. So with a steel drum, it's got a bunch of notes on it. The low notes are usually on the outside rim, and then the higher notes are in the middle. Whereas a handpan, the big low note is in the middle, and then the higher notes kind of go around the rim. So it's laid out in a completely different way. The other thing, handpan usually only has 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 notes, something like that. Whereas a steel drum usually is done chromatically, and like Keith was saying, it usually has 12 tones because in the musical scale there's 12 chromatic pitches. So it's going to go C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, A flat, B, and then it starts over again on C. So that's how it's done. And if I just count them around the rim, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you start over on the first one that you started with. This is called a circle of fifths layout because the C going to G is a fifth, so C, D, E, F, G. It's 5 tones. If you go G to D, it's G, A, B, C, D. It's 5 tones. D going to A, 5 tones. D, E, F sharp, G, A. Right, so all the way around it does that. So it's called a circle of fifths, or some people call it the cycle of fifths, that sort of thing. Anyway, that's the way a steel drum is tuned, and it has that bright sound. But today I'm working on this handpan here, and again, like I was mentioning before, this thing was tuned by somebody else. I don't even know who the original maker was. Oh, by the way, thanks for the question there, Keith. I'm glad I was able to talk about it that quickly. It was just worked out. So I'm just trying to get these pitches somewhat closer. Closer than they were, because this was not fabricated or made correctly in the first place. So I'm just doing what I can to make it better. I'm moving on to E now. That D is way out of tune. And it's right next to the low D. So hopefully I can get it to sound good. troubles with working on a handpan that you've never seen before is you don't know how the original tuner made it. So there's certain habits that tuners have, like they'll hit in a certain spot to do one thing and hit in another spot to do something else. But since I'm not that tuner and I don't know who that person was and there was no explanation, it's just like you just hunt around and you try to figure it out as you go. But it's a difficult process to try to do. And usually you kind of figure it out maybe halfway into the tuning the drum. For instance, I'm noticing that the octave is kind of tuned on the back side of the note here. A little bit opposite of what I do. Natural. Fundamental pitch is really sharp. I accidentally made the C octave go sharp. To be an A. All right, so this is going to be the final note for today. So if you guys have any final questions, go ahead and ask me. I'm doing the best I can with this instrument. It's something that I've never worked on before, and somebody just sent it to me. I didn't make it. I don't know who made it. But it's pretty rough, and I'm just trying to get it to sound better. It's pretty rough. Oh, one last question. To phone your shop to discuss ukes, who should I ask for? Oh, talk to Daniel. Daniel's the uke guy here at DII. For anybody that doesn't know, this is the logo for my business, DII. I'll put it over here so everybody can know. There we go. I should have done that in the beginning. So yeah, but Daniel, talk to Daniel. You go to the website, davesislandinstruments.com. There's like a little chat bot in the bottom right of the screen. You can just do a little chat with Daniel. Or you can send us an email, info@davesislandinstruments.com. I don't know, there we go. That looks pretty good. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna do my best with this A. I don't have good hope for this note though. Let's see what happens. balance out the octave in the fundamental pitch now. Oh wow, the fifth is almost close too. It'd be amazing if I get an octave and a fifth on this thing. Excellent post, Dave. Let's see what Keith says. Thanks. We'll definitely be ringing Daniel regarding ukes. Every musician pal of mine recommends you. Thank you. Highly. Thank you. And for anyone viewing who may not be into steel drums, here's an alternative use. Okay, cool. Ah, yeah. The best pan for stir frying when you don't have a wok. Very nice. Thank you, Keith, for the humor there. Kathy Mcguire. Hi, Kathy. I haven't heard from you forever. Hope you're doing well. And Mir Terrazas. I'm not sure who Mir is. Mary? Anyway, I'm finishing this drum up. I was just working on it. I make handpans here at DII. This is not one of the handpans that I built here at the store, but this is something that was sent to me by a customer and wanted me to tune it up, so I'm doing my best. It's not a perfect drum to begin with, so I'm just trying my best to make it sound better than it was. So that's the whole idea. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for saying hi. That's nice. I'm trying to get Darcy back into the theater. She's in high school now. And my daughter was in a children's theater group for a while. I'm trying to get her back into it, so we'll see what happens. Do these videos on YouTube, but I'm getting a lot more people looking at it here on Facebook, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. I really don't know if I'm going to get this A or not. Getting frustrated. Oh, I should call Elaine. Cool. All right, yeah, we'll see what we can do. Thanks, Kathy. Good to hear from you. Success. Let's see what happens here. What I'm trying to get is da 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 da. Not quite getting it. Da. Oh, so close. See that turning green? That means it's in tune. Hey, Javier. Let's see. How do you know which way tunes it higher and which way tunes it lower? I'm amazed by how you do that. I have a handpan that's messed up and I want to try. Well, Javier, Only try it if it's not a good handpan. Hey, Budgie. And because you could really screw it up. So you could start out with something that's like mildly out of tune. Let me put this on my face. So if you're gonna try to tune on your own handpan, I'm just gonna flatly say, don't try it. Because really you could mess it up more than it already is. Sorry. And you could put yourself into more jeopardy of not getting it back into tune ever, or just messing it up entirely. So if you do have a handpan that's just wildly out of tune and you just don't even care because you're planning on throwing it away and you're just not going to use it ever again, then go for it. Give it a try. To tune it, there's different areas that you hit to get the pitches to go up and down. But I mean, it takes a while even to understand what those pitches are and the concepts behind those. For instance, just knowing what a fundamental pitch is, knowing what an octave is, and knowing what a fifth is, that's something that you have to know, first of all, just musically. And then you have to know how to hear those. So you need to walk up to a drum and just kind of just intuitively know, or put it onto a strobe tuner and understand which pitch is the one that you're trying to move. And then after you hear those and you understand conceptually where they are, then you need to put the hammer on the steel, and that's a whole different ordeal right there, because when somebody says hit it hard, what's the interpretation of hard? I mean, it could be like a force of like 1 pound, or it could be a force of 2 pounds with all the muscle behind it. So anyway, so just be really careful if you do plan on tuning a handpan of your own. Again, like I said, if you're planning on throwing it away, go ahead and go for it. But if you're planning on playing that instrument again, and you actually want to keep it and retain it and hopefully make it sound better, I suggest you send it to somebody like myself, or send it to somebody locally that can tune it, that already knows how to tune. Some steel drum tuners should know how to do it also, or they could at least fumble through it. Anyway, but there you go. I do have more videos on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/handpans at, the word at, A-T-D-I-I. I'm Dave from DII, handpans at DII. You can go there and check out the videos. I've got lots of videos there of me tuning other handpans kind of like this, and I sometimes go in more in depth. But anyway, so check it out on YouTube. Look up Dave's Island Instruments, DII tuning video, something like that, handpan tuning. You'll find them. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna keep working on this A. Yeah, cool, man. Awesome. Well, I wish you well with everything, Javier. And Budgie, I'm glad you're watching. Anybody else that's watching, enjoy. So I'm trying to get this last note, the A. Let's see if it comes in. I don't know. I don't have high hopes. So you can see there's the fifth. The fifth is supposed to go through the width of the note here. Got the fifth. Now to try to get the fundamental down and lowered. Ugh. Getting close. Well, a miracle has occurred, and I was able to pretty much get the fifth octave. Fundamental's a little bit flat. But man, I don't think this is gonna get much better than that, so I'm gonna let it go. I think I might have affected the C when I was tuning the A, so yeah, so my flats, I'm gonna try tuning that up a little bit. So Javier, if you watched just then, I was just hearing it. I didn't put that anywhere on the strobe. I knew that C was flat, so you have to have pretty good ears for this. So if you already have a musical ear, and if you have ever taken any sight singing classes or theory classes or whatever, that helps a lot. So I'm pretty much done. Oh, you've played music your whole life. Okay, I heard it too. Just hard to know which way to hit the handpan. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's seriously a struggle learning how to do this stuff. And I think pretty much everybody I've known has practiced usually at least for a year to kind of figure out how it all works. And then after a year, if they've been steadily working on it, then they improve, within the next year after that. So it's probably usually at least a 1 to 2 year ramp up before you actually get pretty competent with tuning. Some people might have been faster than that, whatever, but typically that's kind of what I've seen. And it just takes a lot of practice, and the problem with it is, like, it's really hard to understand how it works until you've made multiple mistakes. And then you kind of go, oh, now I finally figured out after making all those mistakes, like, why those mistakes were occurring. So you have to do it a bunch of times. You usually can't warm up to it the first time. It's just really hard to understand the properties of the steel and how to hit with the hammer and that sort of thing. But it's great to have a musical ear, because that's going to be really helpful. And if you know anything about theory, like root, third, fifth, minor thirds, that sort of thing, fifth, fourth, those kind of intervals, it really, really helps. And then Budgie says it took him 2 years and a heart attack to tune one note, and that's a true story. Hey, well, there you go, 2 years, but you got it. It sounds to me, at least you got one note. So good for you, Budgie. Like I was mentioning earlier, this ding note has like a really small dimple on it. It's pretty small. Normally, ding dimples are twice that size. So this has about a lot of twang to it. There's not a whole lot you can do to get that twang out unless you put a bigger dimple on it. So, you just gotta do what you can. All right, pray. I'm gonna try to bring this fifth flat because it's a little sharp right now. I'm a little bit concerned I'm gonna screw up all the work that I just did. I have to start over again a little bit. But you see how slowly I went? I was going really slowly, hoping that I can just move the fifth a little bit. But if you go too fast, you can really screw things up. All right, let's see if I can bring this back just a bit. think I'm going to leave it. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. This is, again, a hand pan that was sent to me by a customer, and it was not made by me. I'm not sure who made it. It's just a random hand pan from the universe of hand pans. There's no name on it or anything like that. It's an interesting design. It looks like maybe a beginner was working on this. I'm not entirely sure. The ding note dimple was really small, so it has a lot of twang to it. A lot of the other notes, they only have basically a fundamental pitch and an octave at best. So I tried tuning in the fundamental pitches and the octaves only. I didn't even work on the fifths. Trying to work on the fifths and bringing those in would be an incredibly difficult task, and it require a lot of work. And truthfully, at the end of the day, it might not sound that much better than it does already. So, hey Keith, right on. Thanks for the props there. And anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. I'm going to hopefully post this on YouTube also, so if anybody wants to check it out on YouTube, go to YouTube. We're at Dave's Island Instruments. You can search for Dave's Island Instruments. Hi, Ann. Or you could go to our just regular URL, which I think is youtube.com/handpans@DII. All one word, not the @ symbol, but the word @handpans, ATDII. Handpans at DII. I'm Dave with DII. It's a brand name there. I make hand pans. Got a little store here in Lakewood. Hope you have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Budgie. See ya.